It is 8:34, July 7th, Wednesday morning for the mayor manager meeting, and in the team's meeting is Linda Olson, Jade Truscott-Reed, Nathaniel Sierra, Shawn Lewis, and Tamara Niles. Your text just came through on my watch about a minute after it came through. I'm like, so weird.
It is.
I saw it on my phone. So, all right.
All right, we'll start with July 12th. We've got a couple of study session items. One is the Tri-Cities Homelessness Plan of Action and discuss potential revisions to 2019 City of Inglewood Council Policies Manual regarding electronic participation. And I thought for sure, Jade, we had ARPA.
There were other items that were on there. However, they did not meet the deadline. So they have been moved down, but I'm happy to talk with you afterwards if we need to move one back.
Sorry about that. One of those is mine that we do need on here. It's the American Rescue Plan. So I will get you the information ASAP. Sorry about that.
Cool, okay. But that would be the only three we have?
Could be. Are you looking for that same item later, Jade?
Yeah, so I'm just looking. So I know ARPA was that one? Or were you talking about a different one? That needed to move back.
Yes, we do need that moved up to the 12th.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess any.
Oh, was there another one?
No, I was just gonna say let's look at time frames on those.
Yeah. What do you think? I think the I think the homelessness plan will take a half hour at least of discussion. Do you think? What do you think we need to get out of that, Shawn? That we approve it, that we prioritize it, or what?
Well, this is the study session discussion before it comes to you for approval. So right. I think, just any things that you see that are fatal flaws or maybe missing pieces, etc.
Okay. Do you think 30 minutes is about right, or do you think more?
I think maybe you're asking Nathaniel. That sounds okay with me.
Nathaniel, what do you think?
I think that's fine with me. Actually, I thought that we already put times on these last week, or last time we talked, but yeah, that sounds about right.
I can go back and double check.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah, do you think 30 minutes is, I mean, maybe we did. We talked about this with the town hall being nobody asked a question even, but that was different. You think 30 minutes is okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the emergency ordinance, let's see. Okay, so Tamara, this one's yours. So this is the one that's going to allow them to vote electronically?
Yes, to permanently expand electronic participation in council meetings. So this, I have a PowerPoint to talk about the different aspects where electronic participation was expanded, whether the council wishes to permanently allow electronic participation in executive session, and permanently allow participation by council staff and the public.
Okay. I think that's going to take some time to talk through. I don't know. 20, 30 minutes. What do you think, Daniel?
My first thought was there's going to be about a 20 or 30-minute discussion.
Okay. We're on the same page.
I could see it going longer, but I wouldn't expect it to.
Yeah, let's put 30 minutes just so that it's, yeah.
And I apologize, we did have times for the ARPA discussion as well. And then we did do 30 minutes last time for the Tri-Cities.
Your memory is way better than mine.
Oh, I just pulled up the last sheet. Sorry.
I mean, Nathaniel's memory is way better than mine.
All right, moving on to July 19th. We've got the Open County, Open Space, Arapahoe County, Open Space Sales and Use Tax Reauthorization and Lifting of the Sunset discussion.
How long do you think that'll take?
So I'm still waiting to get back definitive times from them. I should have all my information back from them by the end of this week. However, I do expect that it'll be a 10 to 15 minute presentation from what I've gathered from my phone calls.
I don't think it'll be more than a 15-minute discussion. Do you think? I mean, it's just reauthorization, right? What do we have to decide here?
I think we're, this is a discussion to see if you want to move forward endorsing this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And who's coming from the county? Do we know?
Chris, let me see if I can grab his email. Oy.
Why do I have Chris Henning in my head? Is that somebody in?
Oh, that sounds, it is Chris Henning.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Nice.
up on you today, Nathaniel.
I was gonna say your memory's back.
That's interesting though, because he's the communications manager
Yes.
or director.
Well, he's got to market this whole thing.
Yeah, I guess it's true. All right.
Okay.
So did we decide a 15-minute discussion?
Gosh, do you think this might be controversial? Huh? It's a no-brainer to me, but I'm sure people, I don't know, 15 minutes. What, Daniel, am I wrong?
I don't know. Actually, I'm kind of, I don't know much about it. I don't see it as controversial, but maybe I don't know enough about it. So I'm fine with 15 and 15.
I think I don't know. Well, when was the last time that was done? This was done. Is it like 20 years or something?
I could not say.
Reauthorizing it after how much time, I wonder? I don't know either. It's not been in my 12 years, at least that I remember. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I mean, we benefit tremendously from this.
As noted last night.
Yes.
But yeah, there are some pretty good points for why it would be good to sunset it. I can't think of what those are off the top of my head, but lift the sunset, I should say.
Lift
All
the
right.
sunset and just make it permanent, right?
Right, it just becomes a permanent.
And is that that's what they're going for, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah.
I do know that it would be a guaranteed source instead of these, like, well, maybe we get it, maybe we don't. I'm pretty sure there's a new formula that they're proposing that would provide ongoing funding instead of all of these one-time apply for grants, hope you get it kind of thing. So
Yeah, which takes so much staff time.
yeah, it does definitely takes staff time, and you can't count on the money.
Right, right.
Oh.
Do you think 20 minutes is better on this?
I'm not sure. It seems like this council's pretty supportive of that tax, but I don't know.
Okay, let's leave it.
And then for moving on to regular items on the 19th, you have Tri-Cities Homelessness Plan of Action. That's for the approval. And then an IGA with
Regular.
Denver. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just looked. I think that should be on regular.
Oh, okay, great.
I mean, just so that we keep the information flowing about this to the public.
Yeah. And then an IGA with Denver for Zunai Street bike lanes and resurfacing. Consent?
I don't see a problem with that being on consent. This is what
Okay. And then paying, okay, let's see. And then award to Chip Seal in the amount of $300,000 this is for road maintenance. This is an annual activity, but This does reflect your increased funding for this.
And this is the same company that did it before.
I'm not sure about that.
Wait, which item are we looking at? Are we looking at 8, line 8?
Line
No.
9.
Oh, yeah.
And Nathaniel, are you okay with having the Denver IGA for
I was
January?
I was kind of like wrecking that one through my head. I
Yeah.
say yes, but I have a feeling it's gonna get pulled.
Oh my
Yeah.
Why would
And
that
then,
hold, do you think?
Why? Because I believe there was one house that's being affected by it in terms of no garage and parking out front. So I think that's the reason why.
And so someone might vote no against it, need to pull it.
Yeah.
And let's pull it then. Let's pull it now. Why?
Yeah.
How about the slurry?
I say yes on that one.
All right. I'm gonna start keeping tabs of these. See who guesses.
Who's right and who's wrong?
I think the only thing with the slurry thing is if it's the same company or not, and if we've looked at, is it just a reauthorization of one or?
Mm.
Okay.
all right, so moving on to amendments to policy. Okay, let's see, we already read that one. That one will not go on consent.
And that actually may need to go on the next meeting agenda. I didn't realize I put it so close to the study session because I won't have time to make the agenda deadline
Oh, yeah.
from the direction received at the study session to put it on the next agenda.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
Move it.
Because the agenda deadline is prior to the study session.
All right.
Oh, really? Wait, I thought you had to have it. Oh,
Yes, it's due on Friday, the week before the meeting. All right, I'm sorry if you're hearing background noise. I've got a plane or something flying really low overhead. We've
have
got
the same
the approval of modifications to the strategic plan. So this is staff recommended modifications as well as your dashboards and updates on where we're at with various goals. Consent or no?
the last time we put it on consent, did it stay there?
It did.
Yeah.
All right, let's leave it. Was
All
that
right.
was that a couple weeks ago?
Oh, no, we do this quarterly.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's right.
And then contract to remove, approving Gold Evans as the consultant to assist with UDC update. This is about a $200,000 contract, I think. This was a committee did review the consultant team, and this is their recommendation for that. Yes, consent?
You know, after having all three out last night, I don't know. I don't know how to guess it, and I just trying to keep the meeting moving. So I felt bad that it was responded to so negatively for me to just try and get the questions out. But I don't want to create a stir again. I don't know about this. I would normally say put it on consent, but if it's UDC, maybe it's better to have it out in the, it's out in the open already, but.
Yeah, that would be my recommendation too, is to not have it on consent.
Yeah, okay, great. That's good then. The city has to be on regular, right?
Yes.
That's a solution.
I mean, just because you do the UDC updates about every 20 years, well, you should do them every 10. We're doing every 20. Probably we can put this one on open.
Yeah, and it's good for people to know that we really are doing this.
Yeah. And then B City USA, this is the resolution for that. We have had a couple of discussions about that, but what would you like on that?
We've had, wait, did you discuss it at the last meeting when I wasn't there?
Mm,
No.
Oh, actually, I apologize. That item should have been removed. We have the study session to discuss it. So this was one of the items that was supposed to be coming forward for this meeting, and then it ended up getting moved to July 26th. So I apologize for that. That was an error on my end. This resolution should not be there.
And so then it needs to be moved up to a study session.
Yes, so we have it as a study session item for July 26th.
Ah, okay, not a decision then. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that was a carryover before we realized that they wanted us to take one extra step. I don't remember what it is, but we have to amend the comprehensive plan. So to become a Bead City USA. So we're going to bring a text amendment to the comprehensive plan, which planning, owns
Okay.
essentially. And so, yeah, when we found out about that after the fact, they said, oh, all this looks great. Now just amend your comprehensive plan, but we didn't know that was a required step, so.
Okay. What's the amendment on?
I think it has to do with land use and some recommendations in our land use code about pollinators and native vegetation, et cetera. So planning thought the planning commission would be fine with that. They were going to have to review that, and then it comes to council.
Okay, so yeah, so you're hoping it'll be July.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical, but maybe.
I am too. Depends on what their next meeting's like.
Yes. All right, and then we have loan agreement to EDDA. And so this is the loan agreement for when you all gave them some money, seed money. This is the agreement that will require them to pay that back as TIF revenues start coming in. And they have asked many times, are you sure this wouldn't be just a grant? And I said, no, that is not what we told the council.
Mhm.
So, and I think it's actually, we should stick to our guns on this.
Yeah,
as a
I think
loan.
And have it in regular so everybody knows what we're doing since it's so new.
Yes. And then agreement with City Center property owner, LNR. So this is the owner of the former Weingarten properties.
Hmm.
This is not quite ready, but hopefully by the time of this meeting it will be. And then purchase of one vehicle for concrete utility through John Elway. This is coming back to you because we're already over $100,000 with this company, and I think the purchasing policy requires us to come to you when we do that. So, and then we have an IGA with the City of Inglewood and CDOT for maintenance of traffic control devices. This is a
we go back?
5-year.
Do we do the consent stuff on this? I think the framework needs to be regular, right?
Framework is regular, yeah.
And then the concrete thing,
I think this is consent.
we too. It's just that we went over, it's just noting it, right?
Mhm. And then we have had this agreement with CDOT for decades, but it's renewed every 5 years. And they pay us to maintain some of their signals.
Oh, okay. I think that could go on consent.
Mhm. And then the city and Mile High Flood District previously entered, so this is an IGA amendment to the Mile High Flood District agreement for Little Dry Creek Channel. It's increasing the total budget, updating provisions to allow upstream construction of the project.
I'd leave it on regular.
Okay. Next is bill for an ordinance.
So these are the council bills that we all passed last night.
Okay.
We're sort of kind of in a weird pattern with iCompass because of how the meeting is and on Tuesday instead of Monday this week. So I apologize for the formatting.
Not a problem. So we didn't pass everything, did we? By 6-0, one of them's gonna come back anyway.
Let's see, the DDA did not pass unanimously. and neither did the fourth one, Jade, so that's a no. And then repealing emergency order, I think that was, but I think Tamara, you wanted that on regular or?
The only reason we would need to discuss it if I find something in our research that suggests it needs to be revised. I don't think I'm going to find that. I mean, I have researched it already. I just like to be overly cautious when it comes to ordinances. So
Right.
I will continue to do research, but I think, I don't
Why-
think there'll be any
Why don't we
revisions.
put a question mark there so we remember next week to talk about that and what you're finding so far? Because that'll just, yeah, a reminder.
Okay. And then the last one is for the elections. I think that was unanimous.
Yeah, I think it was.
And then this one is a no.
Okay.
All right, can we move on to the 26th or any questions about the 19th?
No, move
All
on.
right. So the 26th of July, we have the June monthly financial report, 2022 CIP. So just like last year, we'll do planning and zoning. We'll give you the planning and zoning commission recommendations as well as staff recommendations. And then the next item is a studies. Well, these are all study sessions. Next one is modifying amendments to the fire code. And this is for the outdoor heating. So Tamara moving us right along with knocking out those emergency orders, converting those to policies. And then I think this is where we plugged in B City USA, but just expect that it might change. Pavement rating analysis outcomes. This is the machine that went over all of our streets and rated how bad they are. And then we've got staff update. Our staff will, let's see, update on US 285 and South Broadway interchange design. We have about 3 or 4 design options to show council on what that bridge and overpass would look like. Of course, it'll be widened from 4 lanes to 6 lanes, but lots of fun decisions to be made on design. And then last but not least, illegal dumping compensation. And Mayor, I have reached out to some other cities per your request. And really, all I'm getting is, we have a crew of 8 people that do this full time. I think Greenwood Village is like a 2 or 4 man crew. Durham, I actually put this out nationally to our city managers listserv, and I think I only got 1 response, but Durham, North Carolina said, we have a staff of 8 that does nothing but illegal dumping. So we can put that in the budget if we we want to do that. Any questions on the 26th?
Just a reminder that I will be canoeing with mosquitoes in northern Minnesota that week. So that's my other miss this summer. But I purposefully made sure it was on a study session and not a regular. And I can't call in because I'll be completely off the grid.
While we're on the topic of scheduling time off, we've had some internal discussions looking at other cities and best practices. And one of those is taking the month of June, or it could be another month, or July off, where you put an extra meeting in May and an extra meeting in July, and you don't have any study sessions, but you take a month off. And it's something that's, I would say about half the cities in Colorado do now. Kind of intriguing. So just putting a bug in your ear for that.
Yeah, you know, when there was a time where we tried to stop doing study sessions before the meetings, and it just didn't work. Our other meetings ended up being really, really long. But perhaps we'll get to a place where we actually could take. I mean, it would slow down things a bit.
Would it be June that we would try to do? Because obviously August would be budget. Will we cover any budget items in June?
Yes, I think that's why they do June rather than July, because there's quite a bit to do with budget by the time you get to July.
Yeah, I wouldn't want council members to feel like they can't I mean, they get family vacations that don't necessarily fit with their spouses to be exactly at the same time. But yeah, I mean, if it's to try and get people, encourage people to go on vacation that month, that would not probably be helpful. If it's just simply we need to take some break, I think that's great. I don't know. That's just my thought. Yeah. I could take 4 days off though.
Yeah.
Maybe we sprinkle them in throughout the summer, but if
Well,
you'd like,
honestly, I thought it was outrageous when I was in Longmont and heard that Louisville and a few other cities did it, and I'm kind of now understanding why that is. All right. On August 2nd, we have the Budget Advisory Committee recommendations to review their annual report with City Council. And we have a public hearing, couple of public hearings, one on the zoning map change or amendment, and one on the same topic, but a different required public hearing for the rezoning for City Center. And then amendments to the 2019 council policies regarding electronic participation. Okay, so the one we talked about earlier was the study session, and this is the motion, right?
Right.
Okay. And then the last one on okay, Jade, can you help me understand why that says July 26th? Oh, okay, it doesn't.
Shouldn't. Apologies.
The last one for August 2nd is consideration to add responsibilities to Keep Inglewood Beautiful regarding sustainability efforts. And I think they did actually recommend a name change, Mayor. I did not want to presume that as we've discussed this, but they were, I think, quite strong to actually change the name.
yeah, what would it be?
Well, they mentioned to Tim Dodd when he presented that it would be Sustainability Commission.
Okay.
Tim, is that right? Tim has joined us and will be joining us periodically for Mayor Manager.
Good morning. Yeah, that's correct. The Inglewood Sustainability Commission is what they're recommending. So I'm meeting with them again next Tuesday to finalize the recommendations.
All right.
That must be a really exciting time for that commission because they've been on the edge of wanting to do more. This gives them a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very enthusiastic about it.
That's great.
And then August 9th, we have staff providing council, the Oxford Ped Bridge, and staff will provide an update on the design. We have this discussion of to-go drinks and interplay between state law and authorization for the same in Inglewood.
We can now delete that because we removed the to-go drink section from the emergency ordinance authorization.
Okay. And then we are gonna have a budget discussion on the 9th regarding the draft proposed budget. I can't remember exactly. I think there are gonna be some decisions that we need to get council direction on. Probably one of those will be employee salary. We did get really good information news this week or last week on health insurance, that there will be no costs.
Kaiser, no costs?
Yeah, no cost increase and potentially a decrease, which is actually not out of line nationally because there were so few elected surgeries in 2020 that healthcare companies were just raking in the money. So we're looking at a potentially a 3.2% decrease.
Wow.
Which is great news for our budget. The budget that we showed you, during the workshops was included a 7% escalator. So it now looks like a 3.2% decrease. And then August 16th, we have staff will present data and options for modifications to the off-leash. This may actually be moving 1 week later, but that's to be determined. And then solicited award of a contract for 285 congestion mitigation study and a public hearing for Inglewood Station PUD And amendment to the zoning map, which will be first reading for city center zone change. And then first reading the ordinance to actually do the rezone. And then August 23rd, resolution to stay on enforcement of city ordinances regarding parking. And that's, go ahead.
That also goes away in light of the ordinance last night.
Great.
I had planned ahead and put all these placeholders in.
Which I greatly appreciate. Thank you.
I do too. Thank goodness you are doing that. Thank you for doing that. It's great. If only we could get all departments to do that, right, Jaden? And then the July financial report will also be at this meeting. And I think that's it.
And then we
I
have
think- Oh, go ahead.
one day off.
Yes.
In September.
And
Crazy.
September?
I'm joking.
And then I think I may have missed a couple of council requests last night, but I did get from Councilmember Ward, how does the 70 million for DDA affect our debt cap? What other items did you all get on council requests?
Yeah, well, that's the big thing that he needs to be able to vote yes on the
Well,
second round.
Two
Yeah.
things, that and also the wording.
The wording on what?
The wording of the ballot question
Yes.
for the CDA. So the city of Inglewood, why does it say city of Inglewood?
Oh, okay.
Those were the two. And then I kind of wrote down a third, even though he didn't formally ask for it, but just the safety clause. I wrote it down, but it wasn't like an item, but he did say at the beginning, maybe we need a larger discussion on this. So I just wrote that down, but I
That
guess
wasn't really a
right.
council request. That was related to the, but he's, yeah, I don't know if we do,
I
need
meant like
one,
a study session item, yeah.
but I don't think all of us agreed to
Yeah.
that either, but I think if he does see other places like that, maybe it's something, Tamara, he can talk with you about where we put those and where he might think that we need to reconsider it, because I've never heard that before. It makes sense to some extent. I'm just really careful for the cities, on the city's behalf, and he's out, yeah. I asked a couple. I'm really tired this morning. I fall asleep last night. I had a couple. One of it was in the middle of something that I said, could we make that a request?
I had written down the collection of unpaid sales tax, the process for
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, that's what it was. I was asking because I think Steve asked in relationship to the one that's been, what, $250,000 hasn't paid. Is that right? And I realized it's a budget office that does that. That's a budget person that we hired, right? To do. Who's the, yeah.
Yes, there is a person in finance, and that Alex in my office was working with them to initiate legal proceedings for collections on those.
Right.
And so we intend to keep doing that. Obviously, it was successful.
You know, I think maybe, I know that was a contentious issue for some past council members. They didn't like us going after people for taxes. And Steve was asking, why aren't we going after them for their taxes? So it's a shift, which maybe it'd be good to just say what we do.
Okay.
And you know what, you might find something that's already been written and explaining it, but we hired a new person to help with that. We went from a half-time to a full-time, I think, didn't we, Shawn?
We added a full staff member, and yes, our collections have increased as a result.
So
Well,
maybe
and-
information on that.
Okay. And this particular one, they can't transfer their license until that's paid in full. So we're very confident that it's going to be paid in full quickly.
Yeah, great. And then I think I had another one.
Yes, you had requested just information as to why it's a good idea to enter into an IGA with Arapahoe County for coordinated elections.
Yes, because this has come up almost every election gets asked, why aren't we just doing it ourselves? And it might
And
be
so,
to have an FAQ for us to keep on hand.
okay.
I don't know, that doesn't need to happen fast.
Well, I can treat it as a council request, and we can discuss both the budget and the reliability
Mm-hmm.
and expertise in Arapahoe County.
Sounds good.
Who told Steve to apologize? I have to know.
I didn't.
I didn't. Yeah. Well, no,
I-
yeah, I'm not sure where that came from, but
That was so funny. I mean, I definitely raised an eyebrow, but I don't think he meant it the way it came out about saying, well, especially Inglewood shouldn't do elections. I thought it was funny, but I figured it was just a verbal miscue.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other item.
Well, I think that's the one that he was apologizing for, right? He said, I don't want during public comment, because he said,
No, I think he was
Of-
talking about Jerry Walker's comments and,
oh,
that's what I took it as well.
yeah, I don't think it was about,
okay. What was his comment to Jerry?
well, that is where I have a second or a third council request is, can we investigate or just get the info on whatever he says he's had 5 years of trying to report something and nothing's been done, and what exactly has happened there. But that's what Steve responded to that and said, well, I'm not going to repeat what he said. You can, but he was concerned that what he said was denigrating to the staff.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that. I just heard him say, well, cities shouldn't really do elections, and certainly not the city of Inglewood. Which I didn't know what, I think
You
he
know,
was just
maybe-
misstating. Okay, we'll do a
He's
request on that.
listening.
one.
Hi, Steve. He usually listens, so.
Yeah.
I interpreted as he's, as a council member in Inglewood, with his oversight, he wouldn't want us to do that because he knows that Arapahoe County has the expertise.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
certainly, yeah, no.
I didn't take it as anything personal regarding Inglewood.
Yeah, I'll give him a hard time about it when I get the exact language.
So could we check on the property that Jerry Walker
Yes,
is
we will. I've got it.
right?
Yeah, and I think you talked to Tim Hoos, our host, thank you. And yeah, and Tim told him the correct information. We're on a schedule. That's not urgent. We'll get to it when we get to it, which usually citizens are pretty accepting of that. So we'll look into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can look online as to where they are right now, right? I think
Uh-huh.
there's a map on it that updates it, but yeah, I would just like to know if this has been going on for 5 years or there's been a lot of contact over it. And then I think he said that he sent a picture of it to Joe Anderson. Did Joe submit it as a concern? I'm just wondering what all happened there.
Look.
All right, anything else? I think we might be done. Oh my gosh, it's 9:12? Gosh. All right, this mayor manager meeting is now adjourned. Have a good week, everybody.
All right, thanks everyone.
Bye.
Bye.